students. This is Nihal once again, and today we'll be discussing this next subunit, subunit 2, which is approaches to language teaching. This actually covers the various content areas in English literature, actually. Content areas like prose, poetry, these are various literary genres. And the reason why we have this in syllabus is because why do we at all need to have these content areas to learn English language? Actually, that is the basic need to understand. Why do we have to study prose? Why do we have to study poetry or grammar or plays in order to learn English language? So that will be a prime focus here. For this particular class, I've started with prose. Okay. First, we need to understand what prose exactly is. It's Latin for direct or straight. It's a Latin word, and it actually means to say anything in a very straightforward way, without any pun or without any rhyming or alliteration. Just a straight way of saying is a prosaic way of saying, as we say it. So that's what prose is. And to utilize prose for English language development, we need to go by the communicative approach. Okay, because that happens to be more student centric than its preceding approaches. So our approach to prose will be communicative, and objective and procedure. For objective and procedure, we need to remember that whatever procedure we follow in order to teach prose to our students as English language teacher, it has to be skill oriented. It cannot be content oriented anymore, meaning our prime focus will be skill development and not just a mere understanding of the content area. Okay. Next, we're going to be starting with objective. We actually have got three areas to cover: objective, importance, and procedure of teaching, or rather learning prose for English language development. So here I'm starting with objectives. How can prose help in developing English language? First, remember that in order to allow prose to help us learn English language, the very approach should be communicative. Okay. Next, it has to have a task-based methodology, meaning a mere reading of the prose will not do. The teacher need to engage students a lot of tasks through the assigned prose. It can be anything, some short story or just a narrative or an essay, whatever kind of prose it is. That should not be just a means to learn reading, or just not a mere means to understand what the particular story is saying. It has to be a medium of various tasks. The teacher need to engage students into a number of tasks. Through those tasks, the target language will be developed. That is how this whole process of teaching prose in class becomes student centric, when it is task based. Okay, and another area to remember once more, that has to be skill oriented. What do I mean by that? First, that it has to develop the four skills. I remember repeating this over and over again in class, that my prime objective of teaching prose, poems, drama, whatever it is to develop the four skills. Now, how the four skills will develop in the light of prose? Let's say listening skill, it is going to develop the art of speaking. Okay. The art of listening, actually, the art of listening, that when a person is speaking English or reading English out loud, the student will be able to understand it. Okay. Speaking skill, once again, maybe that won't be while you're reading prose as such, but while you're interacting with the teacher. Okay. So what does the author mean by saying this and that, or why does the character is behaving in such a way? When you're interacting with the student, with your teacher, or when the teacher is responding to your question, that whole interaction will help you to develop your speaking skill. Next, reading skill is very obvious. You read the prose in the accurate manner with the proper voice modulation, intonation, your reading skill will develop. Writing skill, once again, because every prose has got its own respective vocabulary, its own writing skill, which differs from author to author. So when you're acquainted with a number of prose through your English syllabus, that will develop your writing skill as well, and your vocabulary at the same time. Okay, here another area to cover in our syllabus was the importance of reading prose. Why is it important to read prose? It's just a repetition here. I've mentioned earlier that prose is, we read prose, we have a number of prose in our syllabus itself. Okay, if I remember during in our simulation, we were addressing all these prose. One of you were, I remember, performing that simulation on Great Escape. So that is a prose itself. So let's use Great Escape as an example here. My purpose of reading Great Escape will not be just to know what Subhash Chandra Bose had at all managed to escape. That will be not my objective here. Through Great Escape, the prose will come to developing a language skill. So that's what I mentioned here. So that the purpose of reading prose assigned in the syllabus will be aiming not just a mere summarizing of the story, because that's what happens, once you pass out school and you look back to those prose pieces, the only thing that we remember basically is what the stories had said. At the end of the day, our language skills is still very big. Not being able to speak properly, not being able to write properly. That is because the primary necessity of prose has actually changed. We made a very wrong approach towards prose. The purpose was never content, the purpose was always skill based. So that is where its importance lies. Okay, this is an important area to cover, that is procedure. How at all to teach prose in class in such a way that it becomes skill oriented and not content oriented. So that is an area which we teachers, or rather student trainees, we really need to know this. First, in order to teach prose according to communicative approach, in order to teach prose for skill development, the primary requirement is to create such an environment where that skill development will take place. For that, first we need to focus on learners' previous knowledge. The procedure that I have highlighted here is going to keep reminding you of simulation. So that's the way we're introducing a lesson, illustrating a lesson. That's how the procedure actually goes. That's how I framed the procedure here. So it's nothing new to you. It's just a recap of the whole process. So first we need to focus on the learner's previous knowledge. And we know how to do that, and whatever question we pose to them or whatever stuff we show them for securing attention, it has to be according their age, language, knowledge and interest. So that will be our primary or rather the first way to introduce a story piece or a narrative piece to our student. First. Second is we will not just move straight into the prose. What we will be doing is that we're going to be exposing the learners to that particular prose piece. And how will we be doing that? Through various LTMs. You remember in simulation we were using voice recordings and videos and questions. So that is how you're exposing learners to that particular prose. So that they get that opportunity to think on what the prose is about. Is it at all interesting or not? What further can they be whether they can be at all creative about it or not? So that exposing our learners to the prose is important. This will be a skill oriented beginning rather, as opposed to a content oriented beginning, because in content orientation what happens is the focus is entirely on the content area, whether the student has at all understood or not, and the end objective is whether the student is able to answer questions on it. That should not be our objective. Okay, that should not be a part of the procedure. It should be focusing on the skills, and this is possible only when we expose the learners to the particular prose. This is opposed to merely opening the book and asking them to read it out loud. Okay, that is not how the beginning should be. Exposing and opening the book and read it out please is different. Okay, when you expose, you actually have not yet entered into the prose piece. You're actually developing interest towards the prose, so that they get that interest, they get that drive, they get that motivation from within in order to read the stuff for themselves, read that prose for themselves. Okay, once that interest is developed, then the teacher can go for a model reading, not a comprehensive reading. The teacher will not go for comprehensive reading but model reading. Model reading meaning she will be reading it in a proper intonation, voice modulation and pronunciation. You know what model reading is, and that can be carried out in various ways. Chorus reading can be done like once the teacher reads and then the entire class repeats. Echo reading, when teacher and student is reading at the same time. Group reading, class can be divided up into groups and each group can just repeat what how the teacher has read. Okay, when that has been done, next, if there are any difficult language structure, grammar structure or sentence structure, any difficult vocabulary in the prose piece, the teacher is going to help them out with those difficult areas. The teacher will not explain the prose, just remember that. Okay, next, the group activity will cover 3 areas. First, once the model reading has been done, difficult words have been explained to the student. Next, the student will be asked to read the lines. What read the lines means? To understand the literary meaning of that particular prose. Okay, nothing figurative, nothing metaphorical, just the literal meaning, the literal stuffs of it, the basic information of the prose. At what time was it taking place? Was it in the evening, night, winter, summer, whatever, place, character, action, setting? Whatever you understand when you just go for a straightforward reading of a prose. Okay, just a surface meaning of it will be first focused upon. Next is the inner meaning, reading between the lines, the metaphorical meaning, the figurative meaning. What else did the author meant by saying so and so? In what economic background or what political background was the author speaking, etc. That will be the area the student will be encouraged to look into. Third is to read beyond the lines. It actually means when you have once grasped the internal meaning of the prose, you need to generalize it. Like, how is it true for only one particular society, only for the Indian society, or can it be applied to the entire of humanity or not? Getting that a complete vision of life, adding to your knowledge of life. So that is how you read beyond the lines. So that will be the third step in the group activity. Once the group or other students have managed to cover these three areas, they've actually understood the prose very well, first, and second, on their own. So these three areas will be covered on their own. The teacher will merely be facilitating them. He or she will not be spoon feeding them. Okay. Next, to understand how far they have managed the prose, whether they have understood or not, we're going to be having the question answer session. We'll cover both the evaluation and the doubt clearing part. Okay. And lastly, as a teacher, it is important that we make print the environment to be print rich. It actually means availability of books which can encourage learners to develop reading habits. Reading habits can be on the same topic. For example, if the topic is on let's say social rights, if the prose is on social rights, then the print environment should be such that there are other texts, other similar stories on social rights, or they must the library, or rather if there is a departmental library itself, an English library where you have library stocked with English texts, it must contain books of that particular author. That way, once you've read the prose, you develop a fonding for that author. Okay, so you want to read more about it. So that area should be encouraged by the teacher. So the student can move out of their own syllabus and read further text on that particular author or on that particular topic. So that develops all the four skills actually: the reading skill, the writing skill, gets acquainted with the writing skill of that author in various other areas, in various other contents as well. So these are the procedure which if we as teacher keep in mind while teaching a particular prose for any class, can be any class, then that skill orientation will be a reality for us. Okay, that's it for the day, and I hope you've understood the first content area that we have covered today, prose. And any question you can ask me, and I hope I can upload my next video as soon as possible. It will be on the next content area. Okay, thank you, take care.